Hey, moron! Hey, moron! Dude! Look at me! I'm the waterboard, dude!
Well, good Monday morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as the Funky Chicken. And as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. It is Black Monday.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Yeah. Is this not why you are here? It is Black Monday. We found out yesterday, as soon as the game was over, Gerard Mayo fired, let go. And it seems like Mike Vrabel is going to be the shoe-in there. So one of those targets that people have talked about the Dallas Cowboys getting looks like he's already going to be getting a job, but he has yet to interview, of course, with New England. He has already interviewed with the Jets and is scheduled to interview with the Bears. Now, the Bears opening, we're hearing that Aaron Jones, especially after that defensive performance yesterday, looks like he, as well as their offensive coordinator for the Lions, are both guys that they want with the Bears. So you can scratch those guys off the list. And Doug Peterson has been let go this morning. The question, I almost forgot. The New York stinking Giants, and they stink. They're going to stink some more because they're bringing back their coach and their GM. For more on this, and now the Cowboys, of course, we always take our time because we them boys. We haven't even decided, do we want to keep our guy? Do we want to let him go? And in the meantime, any great prospects out there are pretty much going to be sucked up. And if they do move on, they're basically going to be going through with an old-ass retread that's got some issues that nobody else wants because that's all that's going to be left. Let's go to ESPN this morning to get the details.
Greeny, the Jacksonville Jaguars have fired Doug Peterson. He becomes the second coach within 24 hours to be let go, joining Gerard Mayo, who the Patriots fired last night. So it's Peterson this morning, Mayo last night, and the Jacksonville Jaguars are retaining their general manager, Trent Baalke. And Shad Khan, Baalke, and others will work to hire a new head coach who will take over a team that now has the 5th overall pick in the draft, that has over $40 million in salary cap space, that has a new stadium coming to the city, that plays in a division that has not exactly been strong in recent seasons. And so there are absolutely attractive elements to this job. But the Jaguars made the decision after 3 seasons to move on from Doug Peterson. That team lost 18 of its last 23 games. Everybody thought this was coming, and it actually unfolds and happens this morning.
Taking you through the Patriots decision then, people saw it yesterday. This one comes as no surprise at all, obviously, Doug Peterson. Gerard Mayo came as a bit of a surprise, although anyone watching Sunday NFL Countdown yesterday would have seen you suggest that you expected it to happen. Take us through what we know about the decision in New England.
Listen, I think this was something that over time went the opposite way that the Patriots had hoped. Like, they hired Gerard Mayo with the idea that he was going to be there for years to come. The deal was in the makings for years to come for him to be the head coach. And over the last month or so, there have been public gaffes. There have been deteriorating play. There have been anger and apathy from the fans. There have been bad feelings from within the building. A lot of nervous people, a lot of uneasy people. There are a whole host of factors that took this in a direction that other people didn't expect, frankly. And ultimately, it led to his dismissal after the game. I think people thought, well, are they firing Gerard Mayo because he lost the number 1 pick? No, that's not what they're doing. This was something that I think had been building within the organization, and now they're going in a different direction. And I think it's a move that they felt like they had to make. It's a move that people didn't think they would make. Gerard Mayo obviously was somebody that the family believed in very strongly, the Crafts did, but ultimately the body of work over the last month, excluding the game yesterday where they won a game that you wouldn't want to win, was not what the team had hoped, and they decided that a change was best for the future of this organization.
And Shefty, I see you glancing down at your phone. I know this is a day you don't love. I know it's a day that our old friend Chris Mortensen didn't like because we're seeing all these people losing jobs. It's a lot more than just football here, but the reality is this is the business that these guys have chosen, and this is the reality of that business. So what other situations are you keeping a very close eye on today?
Go on.
Well, listen, last night, Greeny, we heard that the Indianapolis Colts came out and they said they're keeping their head coach Shane Steichen, their general manager Chris Ballard. The Miami Dolphins came out and said they're keeping their head coach Mike McDaniel and they're keeping Chris. I don't remember teams coming out right after games and making announcements that they're keeping their head coaches and general
Not the
managers. But I
Cowboys.
guess in the day and age that we live in, this is the world where we're operating, where people are wondering whether moves are going to be made. Obviously, there are still some other situations that are hanging out there right now. We have situations with the New York Giants, with the Las Vegas Raiders, with the Tennessee Titans. There could be movement in any place, but these conversations are ongoing, and I think that there's not the urgency for some of these resolutions right away. I agree. I'm going to take this call, okay?
Okay, yes, by all means. Adam Schefter has taken a call. There are no better words in television than Shefty saying, "I'm going to take this call." So everyone stay with us because he will let us know what that call was, and we all understand what it could be. Let's react quickly here to a couple of these. Let's start with the Patriots. You know, I think very quietly, and I mean that because I haven't heard anyone been talking about this all year long, that could be about as attractive an opening as you could possibly imagine.
It is.
Let me put the question to you this way. They have $130 million in cap space. They have the 4th pick in the draft. And if you could choose right now, if you're a coach, and you could choose between coaching Drake May or Caleb Williams, which one are you choosing?
I would take Drake.
Wait, I'm told to go back to Shefty right now. Hold that thought. Shefty, I'm coming right back to you live. Shefty, what was the call?
The New York Giants are keeping their head coach, Brian Daboll, and their general manager, Joe Shane. John Mara just came out with the news that he will be keeping them. And we talked about it on the show yesterday, Green. I think a lot of people speculating that Brian Daboll would be out, Joe Shane could be out, but they are keeping both individuals and moving forward with both members of the organization. And they're going to trust that those men are the right men to do the job. And John Mara felt it was necessary to make this statement, and I'll read it to you. Joe Shane and Brian Daboll will continue in their respective roles with the organization. As disappointing as the results of the season have been, Steve Tisch and I remain confident in the process that Joe and Brian have implemented in their vision for our team. We look forward to the future and achieving the results we all desire. And so, again, we said this on the show yesterday, Daboll will be safe, Shane will be safe. John Mara makes it official this morning. I know that's not the news that a lot of Giants fans wanted, but John Mara advertised his intentions all throughout the season, that this was what he wanted to do. He does not want to be one of those teams that's changing head coaches and general managers all along. And so ultimately, in the end, he's keeping both of these individuals. And you're seeing these teams now exercise some patience at a time where there's been very little of that in the past in the NFL. So we continue to cross off these teams. Again, speculation that something could happen in Indy. No. Speculation something could happen with the Giants. No. And now there are a couple more situations to continue to monitor out there right now.
Still.
Yeah, you told us yesterday. So far, Shefty, everything you told us on Sunday NFL Countdown has been exactly right. This is not going to be popular with people who buy planes and fly them over football games in New York, but we'll keep close eye on all of these. One more that so many fans are interested in. Shefty, do I still have Shefty just for one more quick question from him? And then, by all means, Adam, keep answering the phone. But the one in Dallas is the one that a lot of people obviously will have an eye on. They lose yesterday. What is your sense of what we should be expecting there?
Well, Greeny, let me say this. I'm not expecting a phone call in the next course of this answer.
Because the Cowboys won't
answer in Dallas right now. I think this one's going to play out a little bit slower than some of these others. I think Jerry Jones and Mike McCarthy are going to engage in some conversations. And I think the feeling around the league has been, as we said on Sunday Countdown, leaning safe, but it could go any way. The fact of the matter is, I think Jerry Jones would like to bring back Mike McCarthy. I think he'd like to be back. I'm not sure that everybody is on board with bringing back Mike McCarthy, and I think that they'd like to review their options just as Mike McCarthy could have options. So there obviously are a lot of conversations that have to take place. And
okay, so there we have it. The latest here. It's seeming like more teams are deciding, let's stick with the shit sandwich that we already have that we know. than starting all over. I'm kind of surprised at the Miami Dolphins because it seems like the team and the players are kind of turning on their coach a little bit. They're kind of calling him a nerd and talking about the way he dresses and how he's bundled up like a polar bear at games and just doesn't seem tough enough. And you see the polar opposite of that with the Detroit Lions, how Dan Campbell has been the drill sergeant, the caveman, and seemingly the team has taken on his mentality. So, the Cowboys, Brandon Aubrey, breaking records left and right, has gone to say he'd love to see Bones Fossil coming back, basically saying that his development is definitely attributed to Bones and wants him to return. The players seemingly wanting them to return. Dak Prescott, Micah Parsons, all wanting the same coaching staff. We've got, of course, Mike McCarthy basically saying, I'm a winner and the job's not finished and I want to be here. And Jerry Jones, of course, being the cheapskate he is, says he didn't know about the escalator clause in Cooper Rush's contract. And so on. So we are a mess. And here's the thing that always bothers me in hoping that change would come with the Cowboys, which doesn't seem to be coming, is I just hate the fact that we are always the last one to do anything. The gun's gone off on the race. The gun has gone off on the race. You are the Dallas Cowboys. You are the organization that had the first billion-dollar stadium where Jerry Jones literally hand-picked out the tile from Italy for the place. He was part of every single detail of building AT&T. That they wanted to be the biggest, the best, and the greatest. I don't understand why we are not doing that when it comes to the team. We always end up basically having the leftovers, the unwanted stuff that nobody else wants. Take a look at what we do with coaches. We'll take our time. The hot candidates, they're already interviewing. The people that you believe are going to be the winners, they're gone by the time the Cowboys even figure out if they want to keep Mike McCarthy and crew. And that's no way to run a winning organization. Blame Dak. Blame Mike McCarthy. But if you do that, you're missing the big picture. You can only do so much with what is given to you. We're going to keep an eye out on everything. The Coach Watch begins on Mike McCarthy on Black Monday. If you think the season's over, it's just beginning, people. It's just beginning. The Dallas Cowboys could look a lot like they do this year, very little changes, or everything could be completely changed. We have position coaches that could go elsewhere. We have our head of scouting, and Will McClay is one of the biggest pieces that I don't want to lose. Because before Will McClay came through, we were doing stupid shit. Like trading first and seconds for Roy Williams and things. We were jumping up in the draft, grabbing Morris Claiborne, using a first and second round pick, and literally getting a bust. Will McClay created stability in the front office. And if I am Jerry Jones, the first thing I do, starting today, is I try to retain Will McClay and give Will McClay a little bit more latitude. You can still be GM, but since you are so big into bringing racing and boxing and all these things and all these other businesses, by all means, do those things. Take Will McClay and allow him to be the visionary. He's found incredible talent. He works well with Mike McCarthy. That, to me, would be the first step right there. And get off of this mindset of we can't. We can't afford. We can't. We won't. We shouldn't. Forget that. Damn the torpedoes, full steam ahead, and try to create a winner. As Stephen Jones pointed out, Jerry Jones is getting up there. It's going to be hard to rein him in. Don't rein him in. Don't rein him in. If it's towards the end of my life and I want to do something, I should have earned the right to do it the way I wanted to do it. And I can't see Jerry Jones not wanting to be able to stick a finger in the eye of everybody who said he's a loser and can't do it. I'm Mark Holmes, and it's going to be busy today. It's going to be real busy. We'll be talking coming up on coaching prospects that we have out here. Some people have said John Gruden. Well, I'm going to give you the argument for and against that one and some of the other prospects that are out there. As always, keep up the faith, people. It's going to get crazy.